Hi, this is George Crocker again. Just want to get back with you a little bit from the last short video I did and some things that have happened. But again, to remind you that I'm basically trying to, in this note investing business, in fact, my company's called Real Note Investment LLC, trying to buy non-performing notes or NPN. And in that way, hopefully, the Lord willing, can also get the person that's going through a distressed mortgage or a distressed asset, we can call it, if they can stay in, which if I can buy that distressed asset, that note, at a pretty good price at 40 or even 50% off, perhaps, can also get that person to stay in, hopefully, and modify their mortgage. So it can be a win-win for both of us, for the borrower who could not afford to pay and for some reason or another could not afford to pay their mortgage and fell behind. In this way, with a modification, can help them out to stay in the place. Or perhaps even performing notes. But basically, we are looking for NPNs, non-performing notes. Anyway, just trying to remind you the difference between an NPN and real estate investment. NPNs, or excuse me, note investing is a niche of real estate investing. The difference being, obviously, is that when we buy the note, we're not buying the property, we're buying the note on the property. And the note and is a note and mortgage together. But for collateral, we have that property if for some reason or another, even through the modification, that borrower can no longer pay for that note. But in the scriptures, it says that property is very important. One who owns property is a sign of them being blessed by God. So it's another reason I try, as a pastor as well, to keep that person in that property. And that does not always work out, I realize that. But at the same time, trying to keep them in there. And when they start paying their notes on time, paying their mortgage on time, paying their payments on time after we remodified, then hopefully get that note to performing. Some people will say, well, why get involved in note investing? Isn't that a high risk? Well, it's not, I don't think, as high a risk as just buying real estate outright. Now, a lot of people make really good money in buying and fixing up real estate. Dan and others I'm reminded of do really well in their flipping and their turnkey rentals that they get, and they're very successful at that. But one difference between the note, you can buy the note, as I said, on a discount, and therefore can work that modification a little bit better. At the same time, you usually keep a note, generally 12 to 18 months. If you have the borrower still in the house, you're trying to get them to pay for 12 months or 18 months and then get them back on their feet, and then you can sell out that note and make some money on that as well. But I think advantage of this over buying real estate straight out or buying property for a flip or what have you is better for me, the investor, and my JV partner or partners that go in on these notes with me, is that we are not called in the middle of the night to come fix some toilet leak or some flood like we just had in our house while we were out in California to see our granddaughter, who just turned 1, and to celebrate her birthday. While we were out there the first week, is that we got a call from our son who was still home, and he said when he came home from work, the whole bottom part of our house was flooded. And I said, oh no. But when he told me that, the first thing I did not call Chase Mortgage. I had to call the insurance company. Insurance company in turn would call and get somebody out here. But see, that's the advantage of notes, is that when something happens, when something goes wrong in that property I've bought a note on, my partners and myself, is that we're not going to be called to come fix a leak or to fix a roof or to have all these other expenses. That's the problem for the borrower, the homeowner. They have to take care of that and not the mortgage. Like I said, I don't call Chase Mortgage when I have problems with our house. Wish I could have. Wish they would pay that because it's gotten to be quite expensive. In fact, they have not even finished doing the floors down. That'll be done the end of this week or the beginning of next week, hopefully. But I just wanted to show you that there's a difference between owning property and owning that note. we're a little bit more, it means we're buying ownership of the note for less than what the borrower currently owes, and I'm not responsible for fixing their toilets or anything else. I just want to let you know is that even though I'm in non-performing notes, I just happened to buy just recently, in fact this past week, a performing note in Pennsylvania that the person is paying regularly on their mortgage, and they haven't got too much more time to finish that, but the property is probably worth $40,000. I pay close to maybe $12,000 for that note, but I only plan on keeping it for a year since the person has only about $14,000 left to pay on that. But what's happening is for this year, like myself, I'm a seasoned citizen, so I plan to season that particular note for a year and therefore take in passive income. In other words, they're paying close to $292 a month. That means that'll come into my pocket. And then after that 1 year, after it is seasoned for about a year, then I will trade it off. And also, probably the yield will be close to 29%. So that's a pretty good buy for a performing note. But I also like it because of the passivity of the income that comes in. And this is what's so great about note investing. And another reason that we had some notes the other day that we were looking at, I could not buy at that time because one of my JV partners was not ready to purchase it because of being busy. And also, though, I'm continuing to look for JV partners for other notes that are coming down the road. And there's some pretty good notes and assets that we could have bought if I had some more JV partners or those who want to use their SD-IRAs or self-directed IRAs coming over from a 401k is that they can make a lot better money than they can on a normal IRA or on their 401k. And that is what is interesting. So if you're interested in perhaps becoming a JV partner, joint venture partner, or using your SD-IRA, or want to know how to turn your 401k over to a SD-IRA, just give me a call and we can talk and try to work some things out, and perhaps we can partner on several notes down the road and throughout this year. But I hope you all have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.